Hello everyone, this is Will from SCOOTERETTI. I have the pleasure today of being with Mr. Joe Marcoux from Easy Motion Electric Bikes USA. We're going to do an overview of basically electric bicycles and touch base also on the benefits of owning and riding an electric bike. Joe, an absolute pleasure that you're in with us today to have some time to chat with our viewers and to learn a little bit more about electric bikes. So welcome to SCOOTERETTI.
Thank you very much, Will. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I've really enjoyed working with you and your team over the last 5 years. I'm really looking forward for the next 5 to see where we're going to go, because this industry is expanding fast. Lots of good stuff happening.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing increases in sales and more consumers getting on electric bikes and obviously loving them. Couple things about it. You obviously work for Easy Motion, but who is Easy Motion and who owns Easy Motion, and what's the story behind the Easy Motion brand of electric bicycles?
It's a great question. Easy Motion is a division of BH. BH is Vestigia Hermanos out of Spain. Now, BH has been in business since 1909. They've been building bikes for an exceptionally long time, obviously. They've got a rich history in the cycling world. BH also has the cycling team, the Direct Energy team for the Tour de France. So if you know the Tour de France, you know that BH is serious in the world of bicycles. Now, well over a decade ago, BH started building electric bicycles in the European market. 5.5 years ago, we started in North America with Easy Motion electric bikes, or Easy Motion USA. Now, BH also has other interests, whether it's in the fitness industry. They have a variety of regular bikes, mountain bikes, carbon frame bikes. So it's a huge company with obviously vested interests in health, wellness, transportation, and fun.
Wow, that's amazing. So in terms of the size of the company, what are we talking about with BH bikes? So, you know, maybe in North America, not everybody's actually heard about BH bicycles compared to the other brands, but it's an extremely prestigious brand.
There's no question. One of the things I like to tell people when I'm in the North American market is BH is the bicycle brand, the best bicycle brand you've never heard of. In Spain or in Europe, we're revered. And there's no question, when I go into really high-end boutique stores for the racers or people that are into cross, high-end mountain bikes, carbon frame bikes, they go, oh God, yeah, BH, it's awesome. And let's face it, there's the big three that are known in the North American market, and you know, they're great bikes. However, when you compare in terms of quality and features, I mean, BH is a really high standard, and it's fantastic. When it comes to Easy Motion, however, we're a brand that is now recognized in the electric bicycle industry as by far the best value proposition in electric bikes today, and we're using the technology from the racing guys and from our regular bicycle division, and we're implementing it into our electric bikes, which is great because we're not only the electric bike that doesn't look like one, but we're an electric bike that rides like a true bicycle. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. And then also, you know, BH bicycles, I mean, you talked about being a European brand. I mean, how is the network set up here in North America? I mean, is there distribution? There's a setup? How is the product supported here in North America?
Well, one of the things that we pride ourselves in is we actually have the industry's best warranty by far. So we have a 5-year fender-to-fender warranty on all parts. It's unheard of. Nobody else even comes close. So we actually, as a division, we provide authorized retailers like yourself all across North America to be a authorized retailer. So not anybody can just become an Easy Motion dealer. There's criteria that we look for. We want to make sure that those authorized dealers can service the products that they sell. And so that's very important. We actually stock all of our parts, all of our bikes. So there's, unlike other manufacturers where they bring bikes in and then they're out of stock even before halfway through the season, we have bikes in stock at all times.
Well, that's great. I mean, you know, and some of the questions I want to ask you today is, as most people know, SCOOTERETTI, we're a retail facility here located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. However, we do ship product all over North America and, you know, more and more worldwide. You know, but we do get common questions, and you know, the major one that comes out more and more is, in the past we used to hear, oh, electric bikes is cheating. And we're starting to see that become less and less. More now the question is, I'm concerned, can I actually get a really good workout from an electric bike? Yeah. And how can I get some health benefits? Because what we're starting to see in the market is we're starting to see a different type of customer coming in. We're starting to see more of your traditional cyclists. There's a little bit of curiosity that's been piqued. They want to know a little bit more. They're maybe a little intimidated. They just still want to make sure they can get a little bit of health benefits. And you know, you're going to be the most appropriate guy to answer that question, I think, pretty much in this industry. Couple of reasons why. I mean, you are a bodybuilding champion. And
years ago, yeah, I won Mr. Natural Canada back in 2012. So I'm honored to say that I represented Canada at the World Natural Bodybuilding Championships in Bulgaria. You know, and so even for getting lean to get prepared for the competition, having to strip body fat, yes, diet plays a role in that, but cardiovascular exercise plays a role in that. And I have videos from 5 years ago that are up on YouTube, and I'm, you know, out on a bike ride on an Easy Motion electric bike, getting prepared. There's a variety of interval training that you can do on an e-bike that you just can't do on a regular bike because your heart rate goes too high. So if you want to burn body fat effectively, you've got to train in a specific target rate. And that's what's great about an electric bike. I mean, it's safe for those who, let's say, have heart issues or have issues with, you know, knee issues and whatnot, and you can train for physiotherapy and whatnot. But as an athlete, I was using an electric bicycle to get prepared for a world-class competition. So the idea that it's a cheater bike is absolutely false. The reality of it is that even now, just recently, there was a study that was done in the University of Utah that proves that when people who are using an electric bicycle versus a regular bicycle, they're actually burning more calories and they're dropping more body fat because they're having more fun and they're not overtraining. So the old story of no pain, no gain, that does not apply. You're having so much fun on a regular or on an electric bicycle in comparison. So you're having so much fun on an e-bike that you're actually going to be able to do it repetitively. And that's the key to success in any exercise program, is you need to be consistent. I mean, it's all about the discipline. So if I'm, you know, training once and then I need 5 days to recover, I'm not going to get a metabolic benefit. So the benefits of using an e-bike highly outweigh a regular bicycle, especially for the demographic that we're now selling to. We're seeing people that are 40 years of age and older, and it's really happening.
Right. So, I mean, and that's a perfect response, Joe. And from anybody commenting on that, I mean, this is the guy to do it. So, I mean, you know, very concerned about your diet, always making sure you're getting lots of exercise in a day. And an electric bike is really part of your fitness routine.
There's no question. I ride exclusively now. When I first started with Easy Motion a little over 5 years ago, I'll admit that I was using a regular bike and I was playing with the e-bikes. And then I realized very quickly that, you know what, I was just having so much fun on an e-bike, and I could ride longer and I could maintain my heart rate and I could do interval training. I will admit now, over the last 3 years, I haven't even pedaled a regular bicycle. I am now 100% exclusively e-bike riding. And I mean, I'm happy with the shape that I'm in. So yeah, that's it.
I mean, and you're exactly right. And I mean, those customers who have, got an e-bike, who are traditional cyclists, are, you know, buying e-bikes maybe to go to work, are now finding, hey, I can actually use my e-bike on the weekend and still get a health benefit. And at the end of the day, there's, you know, 3 letters. It's the fun. I mean, we hear that all the time.
The 3 F words that we use at Easy Motion are fun, fitness, and freedom. I mean, if you're having fun and you're going to maintain your fitness program, which is great, and then it gives you the freedom to be able to have fun on your diet, which is something that I'm all about. Because, I mean, I don't necessarily just exercise to look good. I exercise so that I can eat foods that I want to be able to have on once in a while, which is important. I mean, it's all about balance, right?
So it's about enjoying life, right?
Absolutely.
So one of the things we see out there is a lot of new trends coming in terms of motor technologies on electric bikes, Joe. And I was wondering if you can give us a little bit of clarification on where Easy Motion and yourself start to see the industry evolving with the different motor technologies available for consumers.
Well, I think one of the misconceptions is that the trend with mid-drives is that the hub motor is going to completely die and there's not going to be a place for it in the future, and that is completely false. As I've said previously, you want to go into a specialty store like yours, and wherever you are, go and test ride an electric bicycle. No matter how many videos you're going to see, it's only going to confuse you. You got to get on one, and you got to get on a few to be able to see and try the differences for yourself. That being said, there's a place for hub drive systems for sure. Some of the biggest companies in the electric bicycle industry today are maintaining their rear hub systems. We, being one of those companies, are also providing one of the largest selections of variety of drive systems. So you're going to see us delving into mid-drive and hub drive. And that makes it exciting so that you can maintain the easy motion quality, the bicycle qualities that people are looking for, and the warranty that everybody loves. So I think what we're going to see is trending more to the mountain bike side. It's going to be mid-drive. And then different drives that exist will help the experienced to non-experienced rider, because some of them will be more so like Broza, for example. If you're currently riding a mountain bike, a regular mountain bike, non-electric, you're going to love the way the Broza system feels because it wants to be pedaled. There are other mid-drives that, regardless of your cadence or your speed, it's just going to provide movement, and that's not necessarily good. And then you're also going to see that some of them provide such a high amount of torque that you've got to be careful with the quality of components. Chains can break. So there's things to look at. And then with the hub drive, of course, there's the added benefit for many of you who haven't been on a bicycle for a long time to be able to just, ride and then use the throttle when you need it. And these are things that you can't find on a mid-drive. So you've got to look at all options and don't poo-poo the idea that this one's better than the other. It depends on the level of riding experience and what exactly you're using it for.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the most important aspect, yeah, absolutely give it a try, give them a ride. But at the same token, talk to an expert in the industry, and a proper expert is going to ask you, the consumer, more about what you are looking for, what type of riding you are, and what type of cyclist you are. And it's so important when you're shopping around, be as open and honest with the retailers and the experts in this industry who can really help you. I mean, we know what these systems are all about, and the more open that a consumer can be with us saying, hey, I've got knee issues, I've got hip issues, or I'm an extremely fit cyclist and I want to have that most natural riding experience possible. Precisely. All this is good info, right?
Absolutely. I think, again, going into a shop where you're going to feel comfortable dealing with, you'll know when you go into a place like SCOOTERETTI that these are experts. And I know I'm really shining the light on you here, Will, but it's the truth. I mean, you go in and you're going to see that these guys are experts in what they do, as opposed to there are other shops out there that, they bring in one or two electric bicycles, and unfortunately they treat them like, the stepchildren that they don't want to play with, and yet they don't realize that this is an opportunity. There's a growing market, and every year we see sales just absolutely expanding, and there's a reason for it. Just the demographic of people getting a little bit older, like myself. I mean, I don't have the recovery ability that I used to in my 20s, and yet I still want to be able to ride like I did back then. And the electric bicycle, whether it's a mid-drive or a hub, and I'll tell you, in my own stable, I have both. So there's a reason for me to use a hub drive at times, and there's a reason for me to use a mid-drive. And again, I have both.
Yeah, we see that. That becomes a problem when you end up loving your electric bikes. You always want something different. You just, it's a good problem to have. It's a good hobby.
Yeah, it's a great, and it becomes something that I find that a lot of people become passionate about. I mean, back in the days that I was in the fitness industry, nobody would ever say, hey, come on over and try my treadmill. But I can tell you that people will buy an electric bicycle, and again, as a fitness enthusiast, it's like, dude, you got to try this out because it's so awesome. And it is. It truly is.
Well, I can feel your passion. I mean, we're passionate about it too. And I think at the end of the day, consumers who actually end up buying an electric bike become passionate about the product. They believe in the technology, and yeah, they do. Word of mouth is huge. I mean, they do tell their friends and family members, and it is such a fun product.
Yeah, I think what you're also going to see is when you get into electric bicycles, we're developing this community. And now what's happening is the trend of the independent bike dealer and the classic cyclist are starting to realize that, e-bikes are not the enemy. These are people that are getting on two wheels, and we're sharing the road, we're sharing the trail, and we're respecting each other. And it's a great time to get onto an electric bike. It truly is.
And I think, to touch on that point, the technology has come so far over the last couple of years. People are always concerned about range anxiety. I mean, that was a term that we used for so many years where, we had 20, 30 kilometers. Yeah, it's not so great. I mean, the battery technology just in the last 2 years, we see it in electric cars, we're seeing it in electric bikes, we're seeing it in wind energy and mining, all these different applications where we're starting to see lithium batteries really start to excel and become extremely, extremely useful. On the bikes, what are we seeing in terms of range?
You're starting to see bikes now that can get to that over 100 kilometer range on one charge very easily. And I mean, there are some caveats to that. It depends on, you know, are you shifting correctly? Are you using a throttle? Are you using maximum boost? What's your tire pressure like? So there's a variety to that. And there's a lot of numbers that get confused out there. People will throw out, you know, watts versus amps versus amp hours versus volts. And this is, again, where, you know, go in and speak to a really quality professional e-bike store, so that way you can get a sense of, well, what's the true range? And let's face it, even the best manufacturers, you know, they're going to be saying that in optimal you're going to get this, you know, this far on your bike. Now, the truth of the matter is, folks, it comes down to this: the more money you spend, then the bigger your battery is, the farther you're going to be able to go. I mean, you can't get any more simpler than that. That's really the bottom line.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, you know, and when we start seeing ranges hitting close to pretty much 100 kilometers, I mean, that is more than what the average consumer will typically use in a day. So, you know, in summary, what it comes down to is now we have battery technologies which are going to accommodate the needs of almost every single recreational and commuting type of cyclist, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, unless you're looking at these bicycles to do what a motorcycle does, which is, don't think of it that way, because these are not motorcycles. These are bicycles with pedal assist. They enable you to go farther, to go faster. They enable you to have so much more fun, reduce that pain when you're going up steep hills. So, I mean, you're eliminating the distress of what cycling can sometimes do. Now, again, to the traditional cyclist, folks, I'm not trying to, you know, bash you guys. That's not it at all. I embrace you. In fact, what we're finding is there are many of you that have a significant other that can't keep up. Well, we're the alternative. We're providing you an opportunity for people to have a community of cyclists, whether there are people that are on electric and not, and they're riding together, and it's happening more and more. So again, there's a variety of reasons of why you would get, you know, a bike with a big battery, and then of course you can get something with a smaller battery because you want to have something that's cost effective. And you might look at what we call a last mile product, where, hey, I'm only commuting 2 to 4 kilometers to work, so I don't need something that gives me 100K worth of range. Perfect. We've got a solution for you.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's exactly, there's a whole gamut of bikes from, you know, fairly, really cost effective, actually, when you calculate you don't have to take public transportation, your automobile, pay for parking, maintenance and stuff. So I think there's some great alternatives out there.
There's not only alternatives to that, and I agree with you, but it's also look at it from a health perspective to the environment. I mean, you're not polluting the air. And I think this is something that I know there's a green movement that has consistently been happening. And I mean, I think of what we want to do on a global scale. An electric bicycle is a fantastic solution. Plus, if you want to have less traffic, I mean, I know of people that have moved from one community to another because the traffic was absolutely hell. Well, now with bicycle paths, bicycle lanes, and more advocacy for bicycles, you're eliminating a car on the road. And again, think of it: no gas, no insurance, no license required. Parking is free. I mean, there's all these benefits, never mind the health benefits to ourselves. And then everybody's so approachable on a bicycle, right? So you're not in this cage. So, I mean, I think there's something to be looked at. And again, you got to go in and you got to test ride.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to spend with us, do an awesome little interview here so that we can share with the millions of people that are out there in the world. Hopefully many of you will be watching this video, and to learn more about electric bikes. I mean, it's such a beautiful product. It's such an enjoyable experience. I hope you all take the opportunity, no matter where you are in the world, get on an electric bike, try it. 100%. Find somebody that has one, ask them to borrow it. And I mean, you know, most people who own an electric bike are really open-minded. They love it. They've had a new experience with it, and a really positive experience, and they definitely want to share it with others, right?
100%. And I appreciate you giving me the time to be here, and I hope that you all take William's advice and go in and try an electric bike if you haven't done so already.
Well, thank you, viewers. We really appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully you got something out of this video. By all means, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us. Check out our website, shop, S-H-O-P, period, SCOOTERETTI, SCOOTERETTI.com. Just check out the links down below for any links over to our website, as well as our telephone number located right down below on this channel. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.
See ya.